What gets you up in the morning?
Oh, are we starting now?
That's right. Yeah.
But don't say what. Don't start with what I just talked about. Okay, now you're gonna have to start again.
Yeah. What gets you up in the morning?
That's an excellent question. I would have to say possibility.
Very good.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say possibility in the way of we never know how things are gonna go or what's gonna happen, and I like to exist in the realm of possibility. Just hoping that things are gonna go well.
What gets you angry?
What gets me angry? I don't hold on to anger for very long, so I would say I get more sad than angry. But initially, I guess what bugs me would be if there's a lack of empathy or kindness, like we all come from our own trauma, our own personal stories, and I think it's important to be generous with people for sure. So lack of empathy and kindness, and also incompetence that affects or hurts other people also bugs me. And there's one more I can think of. Probably a lack of clarity. So what I mean by that, I guess, is miscommunication. Like, I like people to just be clear with what they want, the truth, what they need. And I don't like a lack of communication.
What's the most fun you've had in post-vaccine New Mexico?
I want to say like last week going to the Foo Fighters concert at Isleta Amphitheater.
Really?
Yes.
Outdoors?
Oh, yeah. I was totally outdoors and actually wore a mask even though I was outdoors. It was packed. I think it was sold out. And it's not even that I listened to the Foo Fighters so much before the show, although I do love Nirvana and I like Dave Grohl, but it was an excellent show because everyone was so psyched to be there. They were so psyched to play, and they played for 2.5 hours, and it was so much fun. And I love live music, so it was fun for me because I haven't been able to go during the pandemic because I've tried to be pretty cautious and considerate. And so being there, it was like I could feel the joy, in my chest. It was
That's
awesome.
amazing. So what is capacity of the amphitheater?
Oh, gosh. I don't know.
About tens of thousands. Is that right?
I don't know.
No. Okay. Yeah, it is New Mexico.
I don't know, but I can show you a picture after this because
awesome.
I took a picture and it was packed. And just the vibe, the energy was really wonderful. I feel like everybody was happy to be there and, was considerate, and it was great. Everything went really well. Mm-hmm.
You're listening to Artist with Brian. I'm Brian here with
Rachel Popowcer.
Rachel is an oil painter, a photographer, and an obsessive thinker. Go follow her on Instagram right now so you can see her art and get her aesthetic while we chat at Rachel Popowcer Art, RACHEL POPOWCERART. Season 3 of Artist with Brian is brought to you by howtoplaypoker.video. Go visit the site. It's free right now for Artist with Brian listeners. There's 64 instructional videos about how to win at poker. It's over 10 hours of instruction, over 1.2 million views to date with a 95% viewer approval rating. Visit howtoplaypoker.video.
Wow.
Yeah.
I do not know how to play poker.
Would you do you want to learn, or is it not even on your radar?
I'm going to say it's not on my radar because I probably would have the worst poker face. And I think that would be a problem.
Oh, well, you can play online and then it doesn't matter at all.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
So as a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up?
An artist.
Really?
Yes. Wow. I've never not known that I was going to be an artist. I usually say since around 6 because my earliest memory of making friends was through art.
Really? Mm-hmm. Did you have role models, like adults that were living an artist's life?
No.
No.
Not really. I mean, I it's just something I've always loved that I always knew I was going to do, and I've always took art classes in school. That's all I did in high school for my classes. That's what I went to college for. It's what I went to grad school for.
Okay.
It's what I love.
And did it emerge as like drawing and painting at the young age?
Yes, I guess I would say drawing, doodling also. Like I said, I have an early memory of, getting dropped off at an after school program, because my mom always worked and just feeling uncomfortable like I can get sometimes in a group and sitting at a table, and I just started drawing, and these kids came around and asked me if I would make them something, which taps into two things I like, which is being of service, like doing things for people, and also making art, which is, why I teach and why I make art, because I love both equally. And so, so I started making pictures for kids, and that's how I made friends, and it made me feel comfortable.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you had an audience. This dovetails into my next question, which was what, at a young age you had an audience, but when was the first time you got paid for a painting?
Oh, gosh. I don't know. That's an excellent question. I don't know. I'm not sure because I've made art for people my whole life. And so segueing into when I actually got paid for it, I don't remember. I mean, it could have been before college. It could have been around college. I'm not sure. That's a great question, but I really don't know.
Wow. That's impressive, actually, that you don't know.
Yeah. Or I just have a bad memory right now.
Or a bad memory, yeah. So what were you like in high school?
What was I like?
Yeah.
I wore all black
Nice.
for a while. I remember that. I had a boyfriend junior, senior year. I was in art club. And what else? I liked art. I liked English. I liked my friends. I was pretty chill, I would say. I think I was the type of person that I was friends with everybody without really being in any particular group. I'm not usually like a group person. I kind of like to be friends with everyone,
Cool. So I've checked out your Instagram, Rachel Popowcer Art.
Thank you.
And I noticed that your work in general, it doesn't look like oil paintings to me, because I expect a particular aesthetic when I think of oil painting, something sort of realist and maybe a little older. But your work is calming to me. It's impressionistic and geometric. So why have you picked oil painting? Like why your medium?
Oh, as opposed to other types.
Well, yeah, because when I think of like, you're bending toward like modern art that I think of, and I don't even know if that's done with oil or acrylic but how is oil working for you?
It's just always been my favorite painting medium since undergrad, since college. And I think it's because oil paint to me, it's so rich, and I can work with acrylic. I can make acrylic look like oil. I have to, I teach those things, acrylic, watercolor, stuff like that. But oil paint is my favorite. I like how it smells. I like how it applies. And especially because I work into things pretty extensively. Like I create a lot of layers and a lot of glaze layers. And I like to really go back and forth, into my paintings. And with oil paint, what I love about it is you can put down, a layer and it doesn't dry right away. So I can keep working into it and get it exactly how I like it. Whereas with acrylic, it dries so fast. And that's more frustrating to me. It doesn't work as well with my process. So sometimes I'll use acrylic for underlayers, but I definitely prefer oil overall. And I definitely consider myself more of a mixed media artist, because like what you were saying about what you're seeing when you look at my work, I incorporate collage in there. I do wood burning in my pieces. Yeah. And as far as, the realistic thing, I can do realism. I teach that, in my college classes. But I love working from my head. I have so much going on in there. So many stories and images and things that I'm painting about, because all my work is very much about specific things. So it really it comes out of my head mostly. And I get bored if I have to just paint what's right in front of me, because since I do photography as well, my photography is realism, so to speak. And I've said actually before that painting for me is is more painting my thoughts, and
Mhm.
then photography is more, I guess, interpreting reality in a way. And so both of them for me are collecting evidence of life, but in different ways.
Mm-hmm. So what portion of the art you're making is for you versus for income?
That's a good question. I think it's all for me.
Okay.
I mean, I love making money. Don't get me wrong.
Nice.
I enjoy that. But I feel like you have to work authentically and you have to work with integrity, or there's not really a point to making art, at least for me. And being famous, I'm doing air quotes right now, being famous is not important to me. Being good at what I do and doing good work and being successful, like what my definition of successful is, that's important to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's staying true to yourself, being
Oh,
authentic.
yeah, 100% being
Okay.
authentic. Very important.
What does it feel like then when you sell a painting? Is there a sense of loss?
Oh, God, no.
No, not at all.
No, not at all. In fact, I never understand that when people say, oh, I can't get rid of this piece, or how do you part with this? And I'm like, really? Because I finish it and then I'm ready to work on the next thing. And also because part of why I love being an artist, and kind of like what I spoke about with my early memory, I really like connection. I like connecting with people. That's definitely a big part of my work and my teaching. And so if I make work and somebody wants to live with it, and I can have that interaction and put it out there in the world, that's amazing. To me, that completes the cycle, So that's great for me. I love that. And no, I mean, like the couple pieces that I'm maybe attached to are in my house.
So you kept them? You didn't even consider selling them?
Yeah, I have like maybe, I want to say 1, 2, 3, 4. I have a small amount of paintings that I've been asked to sell all of them at various times. And I say no because for whatever reason, they just have been in my home and they have a certain type of meaning for me. But it's kind of rare, outside of those, I really don't hold on to stuff because it just creates clutter and I want to make more work. I don't want to just have it all pile up because I work a lot and pretty consistently, even with teaching and even with everything else I do. I don't really ever not do art in some way.
Yeah. What's your relationship to the Lapis Room? Did I pronounce that correctly?
Oh yeah, that's a new gallery that just opened up in Old Town, and I literally have been there, I don't know, a month, less than a month maybe. And I've been in galleries before, here and other places out of state. And I really wasn't into doing the gallery thing anymore because I can sell okay through myself. And then I don't have to give half to a gallery, which I like. But a former student of mine who was a really good student, I guess, referred me to them, and they contacted me. And the owners, the people that started it, are honestly so lovely and just really great people that I was like, I'll try this again. So yeah, so that's one venue that I'm working with, and they're really great.
So could listeners go in right now this weekend to Lapis Room in Old Town Albuquerque and see your work?
Yeah, actually, I think they're having an opening because I'm going out of town soon, so I'm not sure if I'm able to go, but I think it's next weekend. I want to say maybe next Friday.
Is the opening or?
Yes, I think so. It probably would be on their website.
So by the time this is out, that's actually probably already happened or is about to happen.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's LAPIS, Lapis Room.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's an Old Town, really close to the plaza, and it's a really lovely space. And like I said, they're really great people.
Cool.
Yeah.
So one thing we try to get at in this show is advice for our young artist listeners who have an attraction to art, English literature class in school, take a lot of art classes, whatever, already making it, but don't have role models or are thinking of majoring in something else so that they don't have to worry about money. You seem really well established, and you mentioned you can sell on your own. So in all this learning the commerce side of painting and photography, what would you pass along to like a 15-year-old?
I think it's really important to ask for help, to not be afraid to talk to people and to ask for what you want, So if you have teachers or people you admire, whatever, ask their advice ask how, because I have that a lot from students that ask, that will show me their work, or I want to apply for this thing. Can you help me? And I'm always happy to help with that. And I think that sometimes younger people or students are afraid, that they're going to bug you if they ask you something. And I know I had that when I was younger with professors and stuff. And really, I think most teachers, mentors, artists usually are happy, I think, to help, with advice, hopefully. And also 100% put your work out there. That's the biggest thing. I've never, with all of my, I guess, insecurities, that we all can have around putting ourselves out there in multiple ways, I think it's so important. I've always shown my work. And for whatever reason, that's never been a problem for me, is, I make it and then I'm like, here it is, look at it, or apply for things and be okay with rejection, because it happens to everybody and it's really not a big deal. And mostly it's not personal. And I say that having been on, juries for things, it's not personal. And I think putting yourself out there is very, very important.
Do you think the feedback has shaped your voice, and that's part of the benefit, or is it just to get exposure?
To get exposure.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, because the don't take things personally thing factors into feedback, because you will get crappy feedback sometimes, right? And there are, professors that turn people off to making art. I can't tell you how many students I've had, college students, and I'm talking even my older students, who said, oh my gosh, I'm taking this class now. I stopped making art for so many years because I had this teacher who said I sucked, or I should never do this. And that actually makes me very upset, because shutting somebody down in that way is so unkind and such a lack of generosity. And I think that when you speak into somebody's listening, you can really motivate them to access their potential. And that's really important, because we all have that. And I think like where you see people blossom is when, it doesn't mean that you always give them like great feedback. I don't lie, when I critique other people at all. But there's a way of speaking to people where they can hear it and then they want to get better, or do better. And so that's important. And so I guess I would say to young artists, find the people, that you can talk to that are going to be honest with you, but are also going to speak in a way that you can hear it and learn from it, not the people that just shut you down. Mm-hmm. That's not helpful.
That's right. Let's play a game.
Oh,
a little
great.
Trivia game. And the stakes today are pretty high. It's a very, very fine quality VHS edition of the movie Fargo, which you mentioned you're a fan of.
I mean, yes.
I am too. I buy my favorites on VHS and then give them out as prizes.
And I have a VHS player.
Oh, you do? You're the second guest.
I'm not even kidding. And I have a ton of VHS tapes. And the reason why is because I feel like CDs, DVDs, stuff like that, I tend to scratch or mess up. Yeah. And for whatever reason, VHS tapes always feel super durable. So I love them.
It's a really good point.
I love them.
I tried to look for a VCR online and they're really expensive. Like,
oh, yeah.
No one's making a cheap VCR anymore.
No, I know. And mine is like, I have it from a long time ago and I just have kept it in decent shape.
Very good. So you could actually use this. So
I totally could, like right now. Yeah.
So I'm a screenwriter and I was definitely artistically blocked trying to come up with another oil painting trivia game, because I did that on episode 9 with Mariah C. So we're going to take a left turn here.
I don't know how well I'm going to do. I am kind of nervous about that.
We're going to play Artist with Brian trivia.
Okay.
It's pretty easy.
All right.
And we'll see. So we have 4 questions.
Okay.
If you get all 4 right, you win Fargo on VHS.
And if I get 1 right, I still get Fargo on VHS.
We can make a negotiation. How about if you get 3 out of the 4, I'll give you Fargo.
All right.
Because I'm putting you on the hot seat here. So how many episodes does Artist with Brian currently have posted?
Oh my gosh. I feel like you talked about this before and oh God. You mean including me or not including me?
No, just out, like available to the public. Like out in iTunes or wherever, Spotify, wherever you checked.
I want to say 17, but I feel like that's wrong. Or 19. 17 or 19.
Oh my, you're so close.
18?
Yeah, so it's 18. I'll give you half credit on that. We'll see how well you do. I want you to have Fargo because you have a VCR. So
I know, right?
yeah, we'll see what happens. Question 2. What season is Artist with Brian currently releasing? What season number?
Right now?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Because I know you started pre-pandemic and then you took a hiatus over the pandemic. So I don't know if this would still be 1 or if this counts as 2 because of that.
Yeah.
Because I want to say 1.
So I did a nice little maneuver. I made one episode, that the single episode that I recorded during the pandemic, season 2, in its entirety. So we are currently recording season 3.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that. Dang.
Next question.
I'm losing hardcore.
Have we had a photographer on the show?
Yes.
Yes.
Ian or something?
That is the next question. What's his name? So
Ian Donaldson?
Ian's good enough.
Okay.
Ian Beckley.
Yes. I don't know why.
He's amazing. Go follow him.
Yes,
on
I think I
Instagram.
listened to his a little bit too.
him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cool. And we've had an oil painter too, Mariah C.
Mm-hmm.
We've been mentioning
Creative
her.
director also.
So I don't know. I don't know what to do.
Totally won.
Yeah,
because
it would it kind of ruins the integrity of the game. But
oh right, yeah, okay.
But you have a VCR. Yeah.
Okay, but I also knew William H. Macy and Frances McDormand and the wood chipping scene, and I feel like.
How about and I'll ask you. Oh yeah, should we just go with Fargo trivia?
No, because I haven't seen it in a long time.
Well, I remember I did rustle up a question, which you probably haven't heard from Jeremy Howe's episode. I think it's episode 7, but it's like the most expensive painting ever sold. And this is from a few years ago.
I don't know, because I want to say Picasso or Van Gogh. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's Jesus Christ, like holding the world, I think. It's oil on walnut. And like a Saudi Arabian prince bought it for like, I don't know, $100 million or something. And it's on his yacht. That's where he decided to store it.
Ugh.
So it's on the run. You can't really steal it.
That actually grosses me out, stuff like that. Like when art is priced at that amount, I don't know. Like buy art from living artists and people creating now. And then sure, buy art from people that are gone, but you don't have to pay like billions of dollars.
Yeah.
I just find that a little excessive. Yeah.
So I'll give you Fargo. I guess that's the like side door to winning is you actually have a VCR.
I feel like if you didn't give me Fargo, I'd have to like literally leave right now. So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what are you obsessively thinking about right now? That's in your Instagram bio. So.
Oh yeah. Nothing right now because I can get out of my head if I'm in the present. It's pretty rare I'm in the present, but when I'm talking like to a friend or somebody like that, I try to be present. So I'm not obsessively thinking now.
Oh, like not in the exact moment, but lately.
Yeah.
Lately.
Oh God. What I think everything. I don't even know. My work, COVID, just everything.
Do you have a practice to try to offset the rumination? Asking for a friend.
Well, it's funny. It's interesting you asked that because I do often have a hard time getting out of my head. And it's like, I don't want to resort to like drugs and alcohol all the time.
Yeah, not all the time.
Because that's just self-medication. But weirdly, one of the things I really like was actually, since I'm in Albuquerque or in Santa Fe, was driving up here by myself and I listened to music really loud. I love that. I love driving long distances by myself and listening to music. That really calms me and centers me. And actually, the other big thing is being in nature. I really like being outside. And so a lot of times when I'm feeling anxious, I'll go up to Sandia Crest and go leave where the tourists are in the front area and then go into the forest where most people don't hike into very far and just being there, like being in nature where it's quiet, I can breathe. That's huge medication for me.
Is the tramway the only way up?
Oh no. No, you just go drive up to the upper parking lots.
That's cool.
And then walk in, or you can hike. I actually don't. The tram makes me really anxious.
Oh yeah, no, I've seen.
I've been on it, but yeah,
I've been on 3 trams in my life, and I don't want to ever go on one again because I see stories of the cable snapping.
Yeah, totally. I've been on the tram and especially I've been on the tram when it's windy and you're swaying from side to side and it's not my favorite thing. So, yeah.
Okay. So what do you fear?
Well, Well, I'm not proud of it, but I don't love losing control, I guess. Um, so sometimes I'll get anxiety around flying, although I still do it. And um, I don't, and I also fear losing people that I love. Like um, when well, yeah, I'm not going to go into exact people, but that's probably the biggest thing, I think. Yeah.
Okay. And then in your career to date, what's been the peak experience for you as a oil painter or photographer?
Oh, I don't have one.
You don't.
No, because that goes against what I said about existing in the realm of possibility. Like,
Oh.
to me, that would be weird if I said that. What's been the peak? Then you're only going down from there.
Uh-huh.
I feel like it's just, it's always a peak, right? Being able to wake up and do what I love and help other people do what I love and give people what I made that I love. Like, it's just an everyday thing. And the peak part, I feel like, would be difficult for me.
Would you be comfortable saying that your peak is always in the future?
Yes.
Yeah, that's your orientation.
Yeah, because I'm a very future thinking person.
Yeah.
And for sure, like, there's always something that's going to come up that's going to be great. And I even remember that, like I said, when I'm sad, if I'm feeling, really down about something, I always remind myself that life is cyclical and, you don't exist in that space forever of sadness or depression, whatever. And, you eventually come out of it and just trust the process. And then also, like I said, being of service is really important to me, that you get out of yourself, you do something for somebody else, you help somebody else. And honestly, that's totally distracting and helpful, other than just focusing on like me and what's going on with me.
Yeah. And you have a very integrative life. I think you found, maybe in my opinion, the truest version of success as an artist. You're making art that's authentic to your voice. You're selling it. You're teaching. So you have it's integrated. You're doing a little bit of a few things. So you've hit like a really high level of success. But I want to ask you: is there something you still hope to achieve?
Well, like I said, I do like making money. So I don't know. I guess, selling more, bigger stuff. And as I mentioned to you, before this, potentially starting with a friend of mine who's a printmaking professor in Alabama. And we've been working on our own kind of online teaching business where I can offer classes and workshops for people that don't necessarily want to take a college class, that type of thing, and where I can be in charge of it and do my own content. That type of thing, I think would be really great. And also, I really enjoy selling stuff for public art. Also,
like commissions, you mean?
Yeah, I like doing commissions for
Neat.
people. I just recently did a commission for a home in Los Ranchos in Albuquerque. I last year during the pandemic installed a couple of public art pieces at UNM Taos and UNM main campus, and that was really fun. I enjoyed working. All the people I worked with at public art were wonderful and amazing, and so that was great. But yeah, I think it's kind of like what you were saying about being integrative, and I appreciate you saying that. I really just want to keep doing what I'm doing, and if good things happen, that's great. But I think at the core of it, it's that I'm doing what's true for me, and I enjoy what I'm doing. That's really important, because life is too short.
It's a perfect way to transition to the clay pot. It's a collection of fan questions that I pull out at random.
Right on.
And we'll just have some fun, see what we get.
Yay.
First fan question. Favorite New Mexican day trip?
Favorite New Mexican day trip? Well, I just went up to my friend's land and cabins like a couple weeks ago in El Moro. That was awesome. I've been up to a similar type of cabin situation of friends in around Lake Heron. So for me, I love going to like a remote place in nature where there's some cabins and I can just be outside and, like I said, kind of get out of my head and breathe and kind of relax, because I definitely sometimes have a hard time relaxing.
Yeah.
And so I that's my favorite thing, is those type of trips, like going and just staying somewhere kind of remote where there's not a lot of people, but there's a lot of nature. And I love animals and seeing animals. So if I'm out there and I, see animals, like recently I saw a huge elk, and then I just get real quiet and I photograph them. That's one of my favorite things.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've only seen elk while I've been on the road.
Oh,
at
yeah.
night, so it's terrifying.
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't seen an elk in person in New Mexico, which is kind of amazing.
Well, the one I just saw was up in El Moro, and he was huge, so big.
Wow.
And my dream is to someday see a moose, because, when I've been in Maine, I'm always on the lookout to see one, and I have yet to see one in person.
That would be special. They are dangerous, though. They can charge you and trample you. You're not worried?
I'm not. I don't know. I think animals and children know the people that they can be okay around. That's always been my feeling, and so I've never really had a problem with either.
Whereabouts in the state is El Moro?
Oh God, I'm gonna be like directionally deficient here.
Well, what quadrant? Northwest?
It's past Grants. Yeah. So. Yeah.
Wow. You gave another place name. Oh, that's on the out
past
west.
Grants, New Mexico.
That's out west.
I'm not always great with directions.
Like Grants is on the way to Flagstaff, I think.
Yeah.
Comment at
It's like a couple hours. It's a couple hours away, and
and it's like real dry. It's deserty. There's probably some nice like orange cliffs.
Yeah, on the way there. Yeah.
Okay.
But where I was, there was a lot of trees, and where my friends land is in the cabins, it was really, really remote to get there.
Nice.
So that was super cool.
Next fan question.
Okay.
This is the Santa Fe one, but I'll give it a shot. Tomasitas, the Shed, or La Chosa?
Huh.
Do you know what that is?
I do.
Yeah.
I haven't been to La Chosa. I'm going to say the Shed.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't been to the Shed, but I need to go.
Yeah.
It's the best one, apparently.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too. And actually I had a cousin visiting who recently just went there, and she also loved it, and I was happy. But I haven't been anywhere here as far as restaurants in a really long time.
What's the best New Mexican restaurant in Albuquerque?
New Mexican restaurant in Albuquerque?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have like bests for things, for anything. Because I have like, how even with music and food, it's like, you tell me what you're looking for exactly, and then I'll pick.
Well, yeah. So if you're going out tonight, you have family in town from out of state.
Oh, Mexican.
Where are you going to take them?
Oh, God.
To get the representative, like green chili and chicken enchilada?
I don't know. I don't know, because I haven't been to a ton of restaurants since pre-pandemic, and I feel like in Albuquerque, sometimes it's like restaurants change, like you'll go somewhere and it's great, and then you'll go back and it's not as great. So I'm afraid to say somewhere and misrepresent, and then someone goes there and they're like, yeah, that sucked. Okay. So I don't know, really. I'm going to say nothing on that.
Okay.
Sorry.
This is a fun one.
Okay.
Biggest lie you've told your mother?
Biggest lie I've told my mother? Huh. I'm not. I'm pretty honest. That's a hard one. I'm trying to think if I have anything really. Probably that I liked something that she gave me that I didn't.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I don't like receiving gifts for that reason.
Yeah. I know.
The pressure to.
Yeah.
Like an affect about how you feel about it.
Yeah, because I love giving gifts, and so I feel like sometimes, I know my mom said sometimes I can be hard to get things for, because I'm kind of specific about what I like, but I don't know, because I always appreciate the gesture alone when people get me stuff, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, as far as anything else, lying to her about anything else, honestly, I like my mom. I can't think of anything offhand.
That's good. We've been talking about honesty this whole episode, I'm not surprised. Final fan question.
Yeah.
This relates well to COVID. What's the last movie you saw in a theater?
Oh, Black Widow.
Is that post-vaccine?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No.
What is
Because
Black
actually,
Widow?
well, there was that little window, right, where we got vaccinated, and then I went to a couple movies. I went to Cruella, which
I saw that.
oh my God, I loved. Like
Yeah,
Black
I
Widow
loved
I
it
liked,
too.
but Cruella I
Yeah,
loved.
highly recommended.
And then now I'm kind of back to not going indoors and wearing masks with Delta variant and stuff like that.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So
Gosh, knock on wood.
right, yeah, exactly. But pre-pandemic, the last movie in a theater, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
No, but you've seen post.
Yeah, I'm gonna
movies
stick
post.
with
That's
like
great.
Cruella in a theater. It was amazing.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I recommended it
So
to my
good.
sister for my nieces.
It was so
They might-
artistic, actually.
Oh, I know.
and creative.
And I adore Emma Stone, so
Yeah,
it's the
yeah.
total package for
Wow,
me.
and I adore Emma Thompson, so it was just
Wow.
it was very creative.
Cool.
Yeah.
So if people like what they heard today, they enjoyed hearing you talk, where should they go to stay connected? Maybe
Instagram.
Instagram?
Yeah, because honestly, yeah, I have a Facebook artist page, but I'm really on Facebook more for my family and like out of town people, and so I don't post there in the same way.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't even really accept friend requests that often. I have a public Instagram that you mentioned, and I post on there a lot because I love photographing things.
Do people
and-
ever DM
yeah.
you to buy art off Instagram?
Oh yeah, I've definitely
Oh,
sold
cool.
work through things that I've posted on Instagram. Definitely, yeah. In fact, that's how I sold the commission that I recently did, which is on my Instagram. In Los Ranchos, it was a larger photo installation, and it was because she saw that I posted this ongoing piece, the ice project, this ongoing piece that I've been working on for years. It's still ongoing, and she saw how I presented it a certain way on my studio wall, and she was like, "Are you selling that? You know, at this point, can I have it?" And so, yeah, I've definitely sold paintings,
That's beautiful.
photo.
I
Mhm.
feel like Instagram's changed the game for a lot
Yes.
of artists, visual artists, potters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially during the pandemic
Mm.
when you couldn't, have a gallery opening necessarily or do things in the traditional way. I feel like being good at social media in that way was helpful for sure. And yeah, I like Instagram a lot. And
Yeah.
and then I have my website also.
Yeah, you have
But-
a very nice website,
Thank you.
RachelPopowcer.com.
Yeah.
For people that aren't on Instagram, RachelPopowcer.com. The Instagram is at Rachel Popowcer Art.
Mm-hmm.
Rate this podcast in iTunes. If you leave a written review, you might win a $25 iTunes gift card at Artist with Brian on Instagram. Thank you to our 2 brand new sticker partners. Oasis Camper Vans out of Boulder, Colorado. It's minivan, camper van conversions at Oasis Camper Vans on Instagram. The craftsmanship is so good, most of their customers are out of state. And our other new sticker sponsor, Santa Fe Independent Film Club. It's free to attend. Join the group that makes short films on a regular basis with its members. 6 to 8 p.m. every Thursday at Boxcar in Santa Fe. sfindiefilmclub.org for more info. And of course, Santa Fe Human Rights Alliance, our very first ever sticker sponsor. Visit sfhra.org for a calendar of events. If you're a local business or organization and you want to hand out Artists with Brian stickers at a cash register or in a to-go bag or anything like that, DM me on Instagram. You get mentioned in this segment at the end of every episode of the season. You get a blog write-up at artistwithbrian.com, and you get lots of Instagram love. And finally, Rachel, before we go, let's record a question for a guest in the second half of season 3.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be an artist. We don't know who it is, and they'll hear it in their headphones.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it'll be a way to connect kind of the first 8 with the second 8 artists.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever you think would be a challenging or intriguing question
Oh, wow.
for
I have to
someone
come
else
up with a question?
and say it into the microphone, and they'll hear your voice like a time capsule in a few weeks.
Oh, gosh. That's a hard one. I'll have to think about it for a second.
Yeah, there's no worries. We just clip it out.
Oh my gosh, I don't know. Because that's such a big thing to like pack something into one question that would elicit an interesting response.
It is tough, yeah.
Right?
It's a craft for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so
We've had people do silly questions too.
I guess, what is it about art or your art making practice that prompts you or gets you to keep doing it every day?
Thank you.
You know, like what's like what's the joy in it for you?
Okay. The intrinsic value.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you. Thanks for coming on the show.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Great
It's
job.
been lovely.
Uh-huh.